Welcome to part 2 of chapter about why you wouldn't survive a day in ancient Rome. Let's consider the social landscape of ancient Rome. Your social standing dictates almost every aspect of your life. If you are a plebeian, a common citizen, your life is one of struggle. You live in a crowded insula, work long hours, and have limited opportunities. Your voice in politics is minimal. Your influence negligible. Patricians, the aristocratic elite, live lives of immense luxury. They own vast estates, have numerous slaves, and hold political power. Their homes are sprawling villas, adorned with art and gardens. They dine on exotic foods, attended by servants. Slavery is a pervasive institution, forming the backbone of the economy. Slaves are acquired through conquest, debt, or birth. They perform every conceivable task, from manual labor to teaching. Their lives are usually brutal, marked by harsh punishments and exploitation. They have no legal rights, no personal freedom. Their fate rests completely in the hands of their masters. Even if you are a free Roman, your freedom is often limited. Many are clients, dependent on a wealthy patron for support. This patron-client relationship provides some security, but at a cost. You owe your patron loyalty, political support, and daily attendance. This morning ritual, the salutatio, is a common sight. Clients gather at their patron's house, want favors, or simply showing respect. It is a constant reminder of your subordinate position. Women in Roman society have a complex role. They are primarily responsible for managing the household and raising children. Their legal rights are limited, and they are often under the guardianship of men. However, wealthy women can exert great influence through their families. They attend banquets, public spectacles, and religious ceremonies. But for the average woman, life is one of domestic duties and hardship. Marriage is often a practical arrangement, not a love match. It is about alliances, property, and producing heirs. Divorce is possible, but often carries social stigma. Children are valued, especially sons, who carry on the family name. Infant mortality, as mentioned, is tragically high. Those who survive face a childhood shaped by their social class. Education, for most, is informal and practical. Boys learn trades from their fathers, girls domestic skills from their mothers. Only the elite attend formal schools, learning rhetoric, philosophy, and literature. Their education prepares them for a life of public service and leadership. For the large majority, literacy is not a given. Many Romans cannot read or write, relying on oral traditions. This limits their access to information and opportunities. Public entertainment is a crucial part of Roman life. It serves as a distraction, a release valve for social tensions. The gladiatorial games are the most famous and most brutal. Condemned criminals, slaves, and volunteers fight to the death. The roar of the crowd, the spectacle of violence, is intoxicating. These games reinforce the power of the state and the value of courage. They are a stark reminder of life's cheapness for some. Chariot races are equally popular, held in the wide and big Circus Maximus. The charioteers are celebrities, similar to modern sports stars. The races are fast, dangerous, and often end in spectacular crashes. Gambling on the races is widespread, further bring the excitement. Public executions are also a form of entertainment. Criminals are put to death in gruesome ways in the arena. It serves as a public warning, a display of state power. The Roman theater offers a different kind of entertainment. Comedies and tragedies are usually performed with elaborate costumes. But even here, the themes can be crude and the humor bawdy. Baths, as discussed, are also social hubs. They are places to meet friends, conduct business, and relax. Philosophers lecture, poets recite, and gossips exchange rumors. But the sheer number of people, the noise, and the lack of privacy, it would be overwhelming for a modern sensibility. Religion permeates every aspect of Roman life. The Romans are polytheistic, worshipping a pantheon of gods and goddesses: Jupiter, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, and many others. Each god has specific domains and rituals. Household gods, the Lares and Penates, are worshipped daily. Offerings are made, prayers recited to ensure family prosperity. Public religious ceremonies are frequent and elaborate. Priests perform sacrifices, augurs, interpret omens. These rituals are believed to maintain the pax deorum, the peace of the gods. Failure to observe them could bring divine wrath. Superstition is widespread, influencing daily decisions. Omens are sought in bird flights, animal entrails, and natural phenomena. Astrology is popular, with many believing in the influence of stars. Magic and witchcraft are also practiced, though often condemned. Death is a constant presence, and funerary rituals are important. Romans believe in an afterlife, though its nature varies. Burial and cremation are both practiced, depending on custom. Tombs line the roads leading into the city, a reminder of mortality. The Roman legal system is complex and influential. It forms the basis for many modern legal systems. Laws are codified, courts established, and lawyers trained. However, justice is not always blind. Wealth and social status often influence outcomes. The poor and marginalized have less access to legal recourse. Bribery and corruption are not uncommon. For serious crimes, punishments are severe. Flogging, imprisonment, and execution are common. Public humiliation is also a powerful deterrent. The Roman army is a formidable force, maintaining order and expanding the empire. Military service is a long commitment, often 25 years. Soldiers are highly disciplined, well-trained, and fiercely loyal. They build roads, bridges, and fortifications. They fight on distant frontiers, facing different types of enemies. Life in the legions is harsh, with strict discipline and constant drills, but it also offers a path to citizenship and a pension upon retirement. For many, it is a way out of poverty, a chance for a better life. However, the risks are immense. Battlefield casualties are high, and disease is rampant in camps. Many soldiers never return home, and even if they do, they carry the scars of war. This constant state of warfare shapes Roman society. It fuels the economy, provides slaves, and maintains imperial power, but it also demands constant sacrifice. Your modern notions of peace and stability would be shattered. The Roman Empire is a massive and diverse entity. It consists of many cultures, languages, and peoples. But Romanization is a powerful force, spreading Latin and Roman customs. Cities are built, infrastructure developed, and trade flourishes. Yet, beneath the veneer of order, chaos often lurks. Political intrigue, assassinations, and civil wars are common. Emperors rise and fall violently. Your life is frequently at the mercy of these larger forces. So, as you walk through the crowded streets of Rome, as you endure the smells, the noise, the constant threat of disease, as you struggle for meager sustenance and basic hygiene, as you witness the brutality of the games and the harshness of justice, your modern self would quickly falter. The sheer resilience required to survive a single day is immense. It is a world where comfort is rare and survival is a daily triumph. And that's why you would not last a day in ancient Rome. Let's further about the sensory world of ancient Rome. The sounds are relentless, a constant assault on your ears. The clatter of hooves on cobblestones, the creak of wooden cartwheels, the shouts of vendors hawking their wares, their voices hoarse, the babble of 1,000 conversations in Latin and Greek and countless other tongues. The cries of children, the barking of dogs, the braying of donkeys. Even at night, the city never truly sleeps. Wagons are usually restricted during the day, so night brings the rumble of heavy carts. Their wooden wheels echo through the narrow streets, which makes sleep difficult. The smells are equally overwhelming, a strong mixture of the sublime and the repulsive. The sweet scent of incense from temples mingled with the stench of sewage. The aroma of freshly baked bread from a nearby bakery competed with rotting refuse. The pungent odor of garum, a fermented fish sauce, a Roman delicacy. The acrid smell of smoke from countless cooking fires and workshops. Your sense of sight is also constantly challenged. The streets are often dark, even during the day, due to tall buildings. Shadows dance in the narrow alleys, concealing potential dangers. The vivid colors of frescoes and mosaics in wealthy homes are a stark contrast to the drab, utilitarian appearance of the insulae. Graffiti covers many walls, from political slogans to crude jokes. Public notices, laws, and advertisements are scrawled everywhere. Your sense of touch is constantly engaged, often unpleasantly. The rough texture of your wool tunic itching against your skin. The cold, damp stone of the public latrine bench. The gritty feel of dust and dirt on your bare feet. The occasional brush against a stranger in the crowded streets. And the ever-present sensation of fleas and lice crawling on your body. Food is not just sustenance, but a daily challenge. For the poor, variety is almost non-existent. Pottage, a thick porridge of grains and vegetables, is your main meal. It is mostly cooked in a communal pot, simmering for days. New ingredients are added, but the base remains the same. Bread is coarse, mixed with impurities like grit or even sawdust. It is a far cry from the soft, refined loaves of today. Fresh fruit and vegetables are seasonal and expensive. Meat is a luxury, reserved for the wealthy or special occasions. Fish, if you live near the coast, might be more accessible, but preservation methods are rudimentary, leading to spoilage. Garum, the fermented fish sauce, is used to flavor almost everything. Its strong, salty taste masks the blandness of other foods. Water is usually unsafe, leading to reliance on wine. Even children drink watered-down wine, as it is safer than the public supply. This low-alcohol wine is a daily necessity, not a luxury. Dining customs are also very different. For the wealthy, banquets are elaborate affairs, lasting for hours. Guests recline on couches, eating with their hands. Course after course is served, often exotic and expensive. But for you, dinner is a quick, functional meal, eaten standing or squatting in your cramped living space. There are no forks, only spoons and knives. Your hands are your primary utensils. Hygiene, as we have touched upon, is a constant struggle. Despite the impressive aqueducts and public baths, personal cleanliness is not a priority for many. Bathing is often a communal activity, not a private one. The public baths are a marvel of engineering, but also a hub for disease. Shared water, shared strigils, and close quarters facilitate transmission. Soap, as we know it, is absent. Romans use oils and then scrape them off with a strigil. This removes dirt and sweat, but does not kill bacteria. Oral hygiene is almost non-existent. Tooth decay is rampant, leading to chronic pain and infection. Many Romans suffer from abscesses and gum disease. Barber surgeons are the closest thing to dentists. Their methods are crude, often involving pliers and no anesthesia. Loss of teeth is common, even at a young age. Bad breath is a given, a natural consequence of poor oral health. Clothing is simple and functional, not fashionable. For most, it consists of a tunic made of wool or linen. It is worn day in and day out, rarely washed. Shoes are simple sandals or boots with little to no protection. Many go barefoot, especially in rural areas. Underwear is optional and often not worn. This leads to constant itching from parasites and skin infections from chafing and lack of cleanliness. There are no washing machines, no dry cleaners. Clothes are washed by hand in rivers or public laundries, using lye or even fermented urine as a cleaning agent. The process is arduous, and clothes are rarely truly clean. Health and medicine are primitive by modern standards. Medical knowledge is based on observation and ancient theories, not on scientific understanding of germs and disease. Physicians are often trained through apprenticeships. Their treatments include herbal remedies, bloodletting, and surgery. Without anesthesia or antiseptics, surgery is a last resort, and often results in infection and death. Plagues are a recurring nightmare, decimating the population. Smallpox, measles, typhoid, and malaria are common. There is no understanding of contagion, no effective treatments. Quarantine is not practiced, allowing diseases to spread unchecked. Life expectancy is low, especially for the poor. Many do not live past their 30s or 40s. Child mortality is extremely high. Almost half of all children die before reaching adulthood. Their deaths are a common, heartbreaking reality. Injuries are also a major cause of death. Accidents at work, in the crowded streets, or during military service. Without proper medical care, even minor injuries can become fatal. Pain is a constant companion for many Romans. Chronic pain from hard labor, injuries, and disease. Relief is minimal, often involving alcohol or opium. Mental health is not understood or addressed. Stress, anxiety, and depression are common but unrecognized. Life in ancient Rome was a constant battle against physical ailments and the psychological toll of such a harsh existence. Your modern understanding of health and wellness would be useless. Your body, accustomed to comfort and care, would quickly succumb to the relentless onslaught of disease and hardship. And that is another reason why you would not last a day in ancient Rome. Let's consider the rhythm of a Roman day. Beyond just work and baths, your day is dictated by the sun, not by clocks. Most Romans rise with the dawn, their activities tied to natural light. Work begins early before the city is fully awake. For those who work in the Forum, the heart of Roman public life, it is already bustling with activity by mid-morning. Lawyers argue cases, merchants conduct business, politicians debate. The noise is deafening, a constant hum of human endeavor. If you are a shopkeeper, your day is spent behind a counter, selling goods, haggling with customers, managing your small enterprise. Your shop is often open to the street, exposed to the elements. There is no climate control, no comfortable seating. For those in domestic service, a slave or a freedman, your day is spent attending to the needs of your master. From preparing meals to cleaning the house, running errands, your life is not your own, bound by the demands of others. Leisure time for the common Roman is limited. After work, the baths are a primary destination. But beyond that, options are few and often public. Gambling is popular, with dice games played in taverns. Brothels are common for all social classes. Public parks and gardens offer some respite from the city, but they are often crowded, especially on holidays. Evenings are spent at home or in local taverns. There is no electricity, so light comes from oil lamps or candles. These provide dim, flickering illumination. Reading is difficult, and most entertainment is oral. Storytelling, gossip, and singing fill the hours. Sleep comes early, out of exhaustion and lack of alternatives, but it is often interrupted by noise, heat, or pests. The legal system is a powerful, often intimidating force. Roman law is complex, with many layers and interpretations. For the wealthy, it offers protection and avenues for power. For the poor, it is often a tool of oppression. If you are accused of a crime, your fate is uncertain. There is no presumption of innocence, no right to a fair trial. Your social standing often determines the outcome. Witnesses can be bought, judges swayed by influence. Punishments are severe, designed to instill fear. Flogging, branding, and mutilation are common. For serious offenses, execution is a public spectacle. Crucifixion is a particularly brutal form of capital punishment. It is reserved for slaves, rebels, and the lowest classes. Even minor infractions can lead to harsh penalties. Life in Rome is cheap, especially for the marginalized. Crime is rampant, particularly in the sprawling urban centers. Thieves, con artists, and violent gangs roam the streets. The vigils, a sort of police and fire brigade, are usually ineffective. They are few in number, and the city is big. Self-protection is crucial, but mostly insufficient. Family is the cornerstone of Roman society. The paterfamilias, the male head of the household, holds great power. He has legal authority over his wife, children, and slaves. His word is law within his domain. Children are raised to respect authority and tradition. Boys are trained for public life, girls for domestic duties. Marriage is a social and economic alliance, not just a romantic one. It secures property, status, and political connections. Love is secondary, if it exists at all. Divorce is common, especially among the elite. It is a pragmatic decision driven by political expediency. Children of divorce normally remain with the father. Adoption is also common, used to secure heirs or political succession. It is a legal act, not necessarily based on affection. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins often live together. The extended family provides a social safety net, but it also means less privacy, more communal living. Death is a frequent visitor, especially to the young. Families mourn, but life continues, driven by necessity. Funerary rituals are important, ensuring passage to the afterlife. Tombs are often elaborate, reflecting the deceased's status. But for the poor, burial is simple, often in mass graves. Your modern concept of a nuclear family is alien. Your personal space and autonomy would be constantly invaded. Your emotional needs would be secondary to family duty. And that is another layer of discomfort you would face. Let's take a look at the intellectual and recreational pursuits in ancient Rome. Education is a luxury for the majority. If you are born into a poor family, formal schooling is unlikely. You learn what you need to survive, practical skills for your trade. Boys might learn basic literacy and numeracy from a local teacher, but their education is normally informal, at home or in the workshop. Girls are mainly educated in domestic skills by their mothers. They learn to manage a household, spin, weave, and raise children. For the elite, education is rigorous and extensive. Wealthy boys attend schools, usually with Greek tutors. They study Latin and Greek literature, rhetoric, philosophy, and history. Their education prepares them for a life in politics, law, or the military. Wealthy girls could also receive an education, though at home. They learn to read, write, and manage large households. Some even study Greek and philosophy to be intellectual companions. But this is a rare privilege, not the norm. Libraries exist, but they are primarily for the wealthy and educated. Books are expensive, copied by hand on papyrus scrolls. Access to knowledge is limited, controlled by the elite. Your modern access to information would be unimaginable. Public entertainment extends beyond the brutal spectacles. The theater is a popular form of diversion. Comedies, tragedies, and mimes are performed in open-air theaters. The plays often feature stock characters and slapstick humor. Music is also an integral part of Roman life. Flutes, lyres, and trumpets accompany public ceremonies and private gatherings. Singing and dancing are common forms of expression, but these are simple, folk traditions, not grand performances. Poetry readings are popular among the educated elite. Poets recite their works in private homes or public gatherings. This is a chance to display wit, erudition, and social connections. For the common person, storytelling is the primary narrative form. Stories are passed down orally, legends and myths shared. Games are also a common pastime. Board games, like ludus latrunculorum, similar to chess, are played. Dice games are popular, results in gambling and disputes. Children play with dolls, toy chariots, and balls, but their playtime is short, replaced by responsibilities. Public festivals are frequent, offering a break from daily toil. These religious holidays involve processions, sacrifices, and feasts. They are a time for celebration, community, and religious observance, but they can also be chaotic, with large crowds and potential for disorder. The atmosphere of the Roman city is unique and intense. It is a city of extremes, of immense wealth and abject poverty, of fantastic architecture and squalid tenements, of intellectual brilliance and brutal violence. The Forum is the beating heart of Rome. It's a sprawling complex of temples, basilicas, and public spaces. Here, laws are made, justice is dispensed, and business is conducted. It's a place of constant activity, a microcosm of Roman life. The Subura, a densely populated district, is a stark contrast. It is a maze of narrow streets, crowded insulae, and bustling workshops. It's a home to the working class, the poor, and the criminal underworld. Rome is a city of constant movement, a dynamic, living entity. But it is also a city of waste, disease, and social stratification. The impressive aqueducts bring fresh water, but it flows into open sewers. The public baths offer cleanliness, but also spread disease. The entertainment distracts, but the underlying harshness remains. Your modern senses would be overwhelmed, your sensibilities offended. Your body would struggle with the lack of hygiene and constant exposure. Your mind would reel from the chaos and the stark realities. And that is yet another reason why you would not last a day in ancient Rome. Finally, let's consider the Roman mindset, so different from our own. Romans are pragmatic, stoic, and deeply superstitious. They value duty, honor, and loyalty above all else. Personal feelings are suppressed, emotions kept in check. Death is a regular companion, accepted with a grim resignation. Life is fleeting, and one must make the most of it. Your modern emphasis on individual happiness and self-expression would be alien to the Roman way of thinking. You would be expected to conform, to prioritize the collective, to accept your place in the social hierarchy. Fatalism is common, a belief that fate controls one's destiny. This can lead to a sense of resignation, a lack of personal agency. Your modern belief in self-determination would be challenged. The Romans are also deeply religious, their lives intertwined with the gods. Every action, every decision is influenced by divine will. Omens are sought, sacrifices made, to appease the deities. To neglect these rituals is to invite disaster. Your modern secularism would be incomprehensible. You would be seen as impious, a threat to the social order. Superstition is not just for the uneducated. Even emperors consult augurs and interpret dreams. This pervasive belief in the supernatural would shape your reality. Your modern scientific worldview would offer no comfort in a world where gods and spirits are believed to intervene directly. In human affairs, your logic would be irrelevant. The Roman sense of humor is mostly crude, even cruel. Public mockery, satire, and physical comedy are common. Your modern sensitivities would be constantly offended. There is little room for political correctness or delicate feelings. Life is hard, and humor is a way to cope. But it's a humor that can be harsh, even brutal. Your modern concept of personal space is non-existent. Romans live in close quarters, constantly surrounded by others. Privacy is a luxury only the wealthiest can afford. Your need for solitude would be unmet, your boundaries ignored. This constant proximity would be mentally exhausting and physically uncomfortable, given the lack of hygiene. Your modern reliance on technology would be a crippling handicap. No smartphones, no internet, no instant communication. Information travels slowly by word of mouth or written scroll. Tasks that take seconds today would take hours or days. Your patience would be tested, your efficiency non-existent, and your ability to adapt to a world without modern conveniences would be the biggest test of your survival. So, when you consider all these factors, the constant threat of disease, the pervasive filth, the brutal labor, the lack of personal freedom, the harsh justice, the ever-present violence, the overwhelming sensory experience, the alien mindset, it becomes clear that your modern self would not endure. You would be a fish out of water, a fragile being in a brutal world. Your comfortable existence has made you ill-suited for such a reality, and that, above all else, is why you would not last a day in ancient Rome.